Okay, this is the engine compartment of a Challenger convertible that we have. We just got the car. We're really getting overloaded with cars right now, so we're going to do this presentation a little different than we have in the past. We're going to go ahead and market this car as it is right now at a reduced price, so that whoever has it, there's not going to be anything wrong mechanically with it. Could be a few cosmetic issues here and there that I am going to point out to you, that you know that if you want to address, you can. If you don't want to address it, it's going to run just fine the way it is. This particular car, if you look at the hood and everything, it's going to tell you that it's a six-pack 440. It is not. It is a 383, but it does have an Edelbrock intake manifold on it and a trio of carburetors, the same three carburetors that a 440 six-pack would have. So it presents itself as a 440 six-pack engine if you look at it. If you don't know what you're looking for exactly on a Mopar, you can tell the difference. There's 3/4 of an inch difference in the height of the deck. But the motor itself is going to look like a 440 six-pack to anyone opening the hood and taking a look. It does have a huge 4-pass aluminum radiator in it with the correct shroud and a 7-blade aluminum fan on it. The core support is solid. It doesn't look like it's been replaced or anything. I'm going to guess from installing the engine, I'm just going to guess that this car, the engine or something hit this, because this is all kind of warped a little bit around here. Someone has sanded it and painted it, but if you look at it, you'll see some distortion here in the nose of it. Also, the paint on the inside of the fender wells is not the highest quality. It's good, it's painted, it's not going to rust for you, it's not going to deteriorate, but it's not absolute quality as we normally have here at Hangsters. The fender tag is still present on the car. This particular guy started life as a 318 car, now presents itself as a 440 six-pack car, but in actuality has a 383 six-pack in it. This is getting really confusing, even for me. The car has power steering, it has power brakes on it, a vacuum booster and the master cylinder both appear to be new. It appears to have new stainless steel lines on it. Has a set of high-temp ceramic coated headers on it, about inch and 7/8 I'm going to call them. New water pump. You can see the engine's been out and completely addressed. It has the original Prestolite distributor that this car would have come with. New alternator, new belts. Belt's loose as heck right here. Donnie's going to have to definitely tighten that. Let's see what else we have. New battery in it. I know Don just put a battery in this vehicle, so it has that. It's a nice, the heat is still hooked up to the passenger compartment, your heater hoses, and in the event that it would go to one of the northern states that absolutely needs to have a heat for the passengers in the cold temperatures, which I happen to love. Anyway, engine compartment is really nice. Couple little distortions that I'm really being picky about this now. Most people won't even notice this, but I am pointing it out because on most of the vehicles, this stuff is absolutely not like this. A little bit of distortion here. Again, nothing structurally compromised whatsoever. Probably from when the engine was being put in, it probably hit this and they tapped it back out again. That would be my summation. Nice compartment, no engine oil leaks whatsoever present. You can see both valve pan covers are Mopar finned aluminum with the T-nut type hold downs on them, and there's absolutely no leakage whatsoever, especially around the valley pan and the timing. The timing chain the same way, timing chain cover. There's no leaks whatsoever present. It's a nice, clean engine compartment. Very nice, clean. Presents itself very well. It presents itself as a 440 six-pack. When you first throw open the hood, we're going to leave a designation on the outside so that anyone looking at it would think it is a 440 six-pack. Hi, you're at Hangsters in Daytona Beach, Florida, and we got a neat little toy for you today. Take a look at. We're going to do this presentation a little bit different. Devin and I are going to go over this car the way we normally do. But where normally I can't pick out very many defects, on this one I'm going to pick out a bunch of defects because they're there. It doesn't have anything to do with the operational capabilities of the car, but we're going to point out every little deficiency that we see, and you're going to be able to buy this car at a reduced price in its present condition. You can fix these little little inequities yourself. It's not a problem with driving and handling or anything mechanical concerned with the car. So here we go. Paint on the car is actually really decent on top. It's that metallic sassy grass green that everybody seems to like today. The gap on this side is a little bit wider than it should be from the hood. The hood actually is up a little higher than it should be, but it looks like, well, even if I adjust it, it's still going to be up a little bit higher than it should be. Again, the paint on the top of this car is very, very nice. The scoops are correct for a 446 pack style car, and they're still filled in. No one opened them up. It has the correct hood pins on for the with the capped over stainless steel caps on it. This side the same way. The hood's up just a hair higher than it should be. Trim around the headlight and across the nose. Actually very good. It's not messed up at all so far. This is supposed to be argent instead of being painted black. At this point it is black, however. And there is a crack here that's been fixed. It's been glued together, but you can see it. There's no way of us hiding it, and we're not trying to. We're showing you everything that I'm coming across here. I'm showing it all. This piece of molding is broken because the plastic behind it is cracked. Now you could probably try to fit this up in place, but even after you do, it's still going to have a cracked area. This is 71 grill in a 1970 car, so it isn't correct for the year. Let's see. Bezels around the headlights are actually very decent. They're very good. Let's see. And the headlight bezels are real nice. So you have a little adjustment that you have to make. You can probably get some 5-minute epoxy and try to put that back in place. But even after you do, you're still going to see some cracks in the plastic in this area here where this piece does not fit the way it should. The bumper is painted green the way the car, same color as the car. And the bumper fitment actually is very good. It's nice and linear. And it fits very well on both sides. It's a nice bumper fitment. The valance in the front isn't pulled or dented in any way. It has the amber lenses in it just the way they should be. They're nice and clean and clear. It's a nice looking front end of this car. It's not that, you know, it's deficient in anything other than a few fitment items and a grill that needs to be attended to. If you pull the grill out of this thing, I'm sure you can epoxy it back together again and paint it argent, and then it would look as it should for 1971 year, although it's a 70. A little bit of a dip in that scoop right there. It looks like somebody had an elbow or something on it, but other than that, the rest of this hood, there's no dents in it, no marks, no nothing else, no major problems. A little bit of a nerf right here. Looks like another elbow mark or something. But the paint itself is very nice, at least this far on the car. We're going to go down to the driver's side now and see what we can find there. Okay, driver's side. 70 style RT stripe down the side of it really adds a lot of character to this, especially with the flat black hood. Really makes it look nice. Front fender, where it matches up to the front valance, just spot on. It couldn't fit any better than it does. Fender lip molding, a little bit of a ripple here where somebody whacked the door open onto it. Another one right here. RT designation. Again, you can see the hood needs a little bit of attention. Front fitment of the door to the front fender, to the rocker panel. Nice fitment. Nice fitment this way. The gap's a little bit wider than it should be. Maybe it can be adjusted out. I don't know. Wiper arms. The correct arms for this vehicle, the incorrect blades. They're like an Anco modern style blade, but the arms are the correct arms for the car. Trim around the front window, a couple dingies here, and nothing on the bottom. Dashboard itself looks really nice. It doesn't have any distortions or cracks or anything on it that I can see from looking straight down. It does have a sunshade fade window on it in the front. Set of sport mirrors, which are color keyed to the vehicle. White whiskers are really in nice shape. There's no issues whatsoever. Check this out. Look at the fitment of the glass to the quarter glass. Cannot fit any better than it does. It's absolute precise fitment there. Very, very good. And again, the paint on this car is actually very decent. Very nice paint job. Door fitment in the back. Again, you know, the gap just a little bit wider than what we're used to, but again, you know, it's well within production standards. It's nothing that would keep you from enjoying the heck out of this car. Chrome around the door handle. Usually these things are all corroded up. This one is not. This thing is just as it was when it was new. The top, we have a convertible top that appears to be a new top. Now, Mopar, this is a plastic, cheaper, or I should say less expensive top, vinyl top than Mopar uses. Mopar uses that heavy grade vinyl on their tops, and the fitment of those tops is just gorgeous. You know, it really has a nice fit to them. This particular one is a little bit short. If you can notice, and you will, there's a piece of metal hanging down. The top really should go down below this metal just a hair, and it doesn't. I don't know whether it's shrunk from age or it's just a top that is maybe a less expensive top that just didn't quite fit right, because the top itself looks to be new. It does not look like it's had any age whatsoever on it. It looks to be an absolute brand new top. Some pitting on this chrome piece that goes around and transitions onto the stainless piece that goes around the back of the convertible top. Wheel of molding. This one's real nice. Doesn't have any issues at all with it. Nice solid tin. It's all tin. It's not bonded up or anything. It's a real nice solid car. Very nice solid car. Again, the paint on the quarter panel is very nice. Trim around the rear marker light the same way. It's not deteriorated. No patina at all on it. It's in very good condition. The whole side of this car is very nice. It's very straight. The doors actually fit. I don't have to adjust them, other than the gaps themselves appear to be a little bit wider, but again, it's within production standards for these vehicles, so it's something that you really don't need to attend to. The only thing really we need to attend to is to fit the hood and to do something with that grille. So far, that's the only thing we found that was really a detriment. Convertible top, again, you can see it doesn't quite fit, but keeps the rain out. So let's go out back, see if we can find something there. Oh, it does have a set of original equipment type Mopar rally wheels, which would have been original equipment on this car. A nice set of rallies, and everyone loves this wheel at this point in time. They have the correct centers on them with the Argent paint on them the way they should be. Nice, good-looking trim rings. Nice, fresh set of tires. So let's see what's out back. Okay, this is the tail section of our six-pack RT style car. You see it again, the paint is very nice on the car. It presents itself very well. The gap on this guy is just where it should be, about 1/8 of an inch, but it's up on this end too high. So that needs an adjustment. It needs to be pulled down, and then it'll fit just the way it should. The rear spoiler is an add-on. I'm sure it didn't come from factory that way, but it is an add-on, and it adds a little bit of character to the vehicle. The trim around the back end and across the rear end of the trunk here. No dents whatsoever. A little deterioration, a little oxidation on these anodized aluminum pieces, especially that one more than this one. But still in good condition. Challenger designation. Lenses themselves are very, very nice and clean and clear. There's no cracks on this side or on this side either. So these this tail section is really nice. The plastic on it is very good condition. Again, this should be painted Argent as opposed to black, but it's someone's choice is what they do with this vehicle. Bumper fitment. And that guy's spot on, just like the front one was. You can't get it to fit any better than it does. It gives you a good look because it has the correct RT style twin rectangular pipes on each side. It has bumperettes, and they have a nice alignment also. Obviously, the rear bumper's painted green to match the front bumper. Rear valance doesn't have any pulls or anything on it. It's just the way it was designed to be, and the windows for the tailpipes to come out are just the way they are from the factory. So you got a real good, original-looking RT style rear valance on this vehicle. It's a great looking back end on this car. Again, just adjustment things and a couple little things for you to play with, a couple things to do. Let's do the last side we have. Okay, the last side, quick fuel system that Dodge has on it, race cap. Same thing, side marker lamp in the back here, just as nice as can possibly be. Nice sharp tin on this car. Just tin everywhere. It doesn't appear to have any Bondo or anything in it at any point. The back window in this is rippled. It's a plastic back window. You'll see it in Devin's videos. Whoever put this on, it needs to be reinstalled. It's got ripple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ripples in it that need to be stretched out and taken out, and then you'd have a nice fitting top, at least on the back part here. Trim around the base of it is really nice. There's one little dent here, and again deteriorated little bit of chrome on this front piece here. Other than that, there's not too much we can say about it. I mean, it's really not that bad a vehicle. I'm making it sound a lot worse than it is, but it's just a few little things cosmetically. There's little chips along here from someone opening doors up against it. It's really not dented badly. It's just that there are some chips in the molding itself, wheel well molding. Again, you can see it more pronounced here, the way this top should fit. And actually, here's the liner coming down where it's supposed to, and this is about an inch short of coming where it's supposed to. Again, it's not going to leak. It's not going to have any detriment as far as wind noise goes or weather protection. It's just that it isn't the way it was designed by Mopar to have the top actually come down another inch. For whatever reason, that's the way this one is. Again, the door fitment on this guy, same as on the other side. Really, really nice alignment. The gap is very well within production specs. Window fitment, front one for the rear quarter glass. You can see that's as nice as you'll ever hope to find. Wipes whiskers on this side, the same as the other. Door handle, same way. There's no patina whatsoever on it. It's a really nice door handle. Paint on the car is very nice. We still haven't found any chips or marks or really anything really serious to complain about on this vehicle. Again, the alignment in the front you can see is just as sweet as you'd ever hope to find. Wheel well on this side molding is a couple little marks the same way from doors, but that's it. RT designation, the correct Mopar type antenna with the round base with the lock nut type on the center. Side marker lamp in the front, and we're back where we started to do our presentation. Again, you can see the hood up just a little bit higher than it really should be. And again, a lot of this stuff is just simply adjustments. It's adjustments that need to be made. If we make the adjustments, we're going to go back and we're going to, obviously, the time involved in doing this and to putting this back the way it should be is going to up the price of this vehicle. We're going to offer this vehicle the way you see it. Mechanically, it's going to be as sound as any other vehicle that we have in the building. It's not going to be shortchanged in any way. It's going to have oil and filter changed. It's going to have all the fluids checked. It's going to be mechanically sound. All the lights are going to work. Everything is going to work. The only deficiencies are going to be what I just pointed out. Devin and I went around this whole vehicle, and I showed you everything that it needed, every little thing. There's nothing that I think I missed. If there is, I don't know where it is. Some things you can't fix. The top. That's something you got to live with. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a brand new top. It's not going to leak. It doesn't fit like an original equipment Mopar top does, but you can live with it. You probably won't have the top down or up on this thing most of its life anyway, especially if you live in the southern climates. Nice paint on the car. I didn't find any chips or marks or scrapes or anything in it anywhere. It presents itself really well. We're going to do a drive. We're going to do the rest of the presentation the way we do on every vehicle. It's just that on this particular one, you're going to be surprised at what you can buy this car for. We're going to do it just the way we do all the other vehicles, as far as all the fluids and everything before we ship them. It's just that, again, this is about the third time I think I reiterated this, but it has a few deficiencies that need to be attended to, and that's where you're going to save a lot of money on this vehicle. So take a look at it. It's here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida. If you can, fly down, drive down, whatever you have to do. Come down, take a look at it. You can see what we're talking about. It may be something that doesn't even bother you. You might not even notice it. It's that minuscule on a lot of the stuff. So come take a look at it if you can, but if you can't, check out our video and our pictures, and it's available here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach at a really reasonable price for a six-pack style Challenger convertible. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have fuel gauge that shows about a quarter of a tank, so we know it's working. Temp gauge that we just fired it up, so I'm sure it's going to come up here soon. The EM gauge is functioning. You can see it is functioning as it should. Let's see, wipers. Where are the wipers? Here are the wipers. That's the dimmer. There's the wipers. They do not work. The wipers are not working. Left turn signal. Light comes on. It's not working. Right turn signal. It's very, very dim, but it is blinking. It is working. Horn. Horn is working. Radio. Not a chance in the world. Nope, it's not working. Okay, so we got turn signals to attend to and windshield wipers that absolutely are not working. Okay, let's go for a ride, see what we got here. Alright, well, the good thing is the car goes down the road straight. It really does. Well, actually, it pulls to the left a little bit, but horribly does pull to the left a little bit. There's a speedometer cable or something making noise in here. You can hear it. Hear it whining away. That is the speedometer cable. Temperature gauge is not working. It is not functioning. Speedometer is working as it should. It looks like it's fairly accurate too. Remote mirror works. That's good. Car actually, it's not all that bad. Let me try brakes, no hands. Car stops very well, and no hand brakes, goes stop straight as an arrow. Actually runs okay. I mean, it seems like it's pulling okay. Transmission's okay. This rocket scientist wouldn't have pulled out. We'd have had a little bit more room to crank it a little bit. Here, we'll try in a second. Hopefully, since he pulled out in front of me, he'll go ahead and pull in where we can go ahead and put on a little bit anyway. A piece. Definitely needs some work. There's no question. But you're going to buy it really cheap. There's a lot of TLC. But set of plugs, maybe some wires, lube the speedometer cable, and a couple light bulbs, and a little bit of TLC, and you'll have a car that you have a lot of fun in. Okay, this is the underside of our little Challenger RT style 446 back look convertible. Really nice green finish on the outside of it, sassy grass, white interior in the car, black convertible top, and we're going to go over the undercarriage for you now, the underpinnings of it. Does have a B-block Mopar in it. I'm not sure the configuration, whether it's a 383 or a 400, but it's definitely not a 440. It's 383 400. The cooling lines going from the tranny up to the aluminum radiator in the front are brand spanking new and fresh type Mopar lines. They're bent correctly. It has disc brakes in the front. It does have somewhat of an oil leak here from the steering box. It's not real severe, but it is somewhat of a little oil leak that comes down onto the K-member. The engine itself is fresh out. You can see it's a complete fresh rebuild. There are no oil leaks on the engine itself or the back part of it in the bell housing area. A couple drips of oil here. It could have been from, geez, I don't even know what, because the oil pan itself, probably when they changed the tranny fluid or something, but it's not leaking anywhere at this point. Of course, 727 tranny in it. The subframes, the skirts in the back, the skirts at the bottom of the wheel wells, which are usually distorted somewhat from people jacking it up on them through the years. These are fine. They're not distorted in any way. It has a set of ceramic coated headers on it, appear to be about 1 3/4 inch, equal length, long tube headers going into a 3-inch collector, going into a 3-inch primary pipe, going into a 2.5-inch primary pipe. So a step-down system. They did it correctly, the way you should, for the flow. Again, the subframe on this side is the same as that side, and the transitional part that houses the mount for the rear part of the transmission. That's as good as you could ever hope to find. There's no marks whatsoever in it, no jack marks, no tears or rips or anything from being shipped through the years. Let's see here. New speedometer cable, and it's not leaking in the back of the transmission either. A little bit of a drip on the back of the tail shaft of this guy, but not anything that's pouring oil out or anything. It's just a little tiny bit of a drip. New universal joint in the front, new universal joint in the back of the drive shaft. Let's see. The floor pans on this car actually are very, very nice. They appear to be the original pans on the car. They still have their original spot wells where they go onto the rocker panel assemblies. Original parking brake type cables still hooked up. They're new, but they are the original style Mopar type parking brake cable hooked up to the rear and functional. Let's see here. Original brake lines still on the driver's side, and original double fuel lines the way it should be for a 70, 71 car. Going back on the passenger side, they're still intact and in good condition. Floor pans in the back, just as nice as they are in the front. There's absolutely no jack marks on them, no rust, no deterioration whatsoever. Your torque boxes are really nice and strong, and still there's one little tiny jack mark here from the jack stand, but that's pretty much it. Not uncommon to find a jack mark here and there on these vehicles. This subframe is very, very nice. This particular one, some rocket scientists, when they hooked it in to ship it, tightened the cable down too tight and tore this little section right here. It didn't compromise anything structurally, but I just want you to know that there is a tear in the subframe right here. It has 2.5-inch pipes going back to the correct style oval mufflers that are in the back of this car. That's the way they put these back then, was in the tail section of these vehicles, and then they transitioned out to the 2 on each side rectangular pipes that Mopar had. And the gas tank was housed right between the two mufflers. It appears to be the original tank yet, and it's still in good condition. Let's see, it's the rear subframes still have their actual tie-down brackets still on them. So why they would put a tie into this thing to transport it is totally beyond me, because they had two of them, one there and one there, that are supplied by Chrysler and really easy to get into with a chain hook or a nylon strap hook to go ahead and transport it that way. The multi-leaf rear springs have a nice arch to them yet, both sides. Yep, both sides are in good shape. The shocks appear to be new in the back of this car. They were good in the front. They weren't leaking, but they weren't absolutely as fresh as the ones in the back. Drum brakes in the back, discs in the front, and these are just a conventional drum brake. This car started life as a 318 car, so That's what we have. We have the conventional drum brakes in the back. The floor pans in the rear of the car appear to all be really good. I don't see anything that's rusted or distorted or has been addressed through the years. Drop downs in the in the quarters, as far as I can see in this sunlight out here, which just totally blinds you. Everything appears to be good. The floor pans and where they transition over to the drop downs, everything looks like it's good. 8 3/4 heavy duty Mopar rear end in it. They did put a heavy duty Mopar rear end in this to go with the big block engine that they transplanted into it also. So you got a really nice undercarriage here. It's not flawless, it's not perfect, and there are a couple little inequities on it here, a couple little leaks that really aren't that. You know, if you want to address them, address them. If not, then they're not like it's going to leak all kind of oil or fluids onto your floor, because it isn't. Little tear here in this frame section where someone pulled it down too hard in transport, but that's about it. As far as structurally, the subframes and the floor pans themselves are in excellent condition. It's not a bad car. It's not a bad car. It needs a little TLC, but it's going to be a great car for somebody to go ahead and use, and also have as a little project that they can fix a few things on their own and save a ton of money when you see what you can buy this car for.